Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to my world. I'm a little behind schedule, kind of like Princess Diana coming out of the limo. A nice little pause of 2 minutes. I'm just teasing. So how's everybody doing? Hi, Meg. AH is here from Ireland. Hello, Christopher. Lots of boys today. My goodness. How lucky we are. Oh, hello, Michelle. I guess Michelle had a bit of a problem. Somebody was a bit naughty on the Friday. We did I'm going to put my socks on while I talk to you because my life is an open book, as you know. So let me put my socks on. We got a couple things we get to do today. And now I'm ready for you. Okay, so announcements. If you're in the Portland, Oregon area and you would like to hang out, you can let me know. Go ahead and send me a text because I'm gonna finish here and then I'm gonna go, I don't know, maybe Mount Tabor, somewhere like that. I'm gonna do a hike, go look at, I'm doing mushroom hunting today. So if anybody wants to come along and do some mushroom hunting, I've got an app, an ID app. And yeah, so that's what I'm planning. I'm planning a late lunch / early dinner hike. So if you're in the Portland area and you'd like to come along and spend the day with Whimsy, absolutely. Text me, email me, message me. I'll probably be leaving here around 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. All right, so I wanted to announce that. Is the sound okay? It looks like it's okay. Any nature people out there? Yes, I'm very good at flirting. You know, I forgot my scarf. I was talking to a relative on the phone and look up into the trees for mushrooms. The ground doesn't tell you as much. You know, it's interesting. I'm reading Mycelium Rising by Paul Stamets, and there are different types of fungi, and they grow in different places depending upon what you're looking for. Gandoderma reishi actually grows wild, and it is saprolytic. It actually does grow on the trees themselves, so that's true. You're going out and meeting strangers in a pandemic? Yes, because we know the rules. If you're outside, if you are careful, if you're wearing mask, then I think we're going to be just fine. And if you're eating outside in a cafe, get a slice of pizza, you should be fine. Paul Stamets is a neighbor of yours. Nice. Oh, are you around, Donna? No, I'm not scared at all. People are like, are you scared to meet in a public place for mushroom at Mount Tabor? No, it's very silly. Okay, so that was the first thing, is that I'm gonna start doing, I'm sorry, I've been having a cough lately. Don't worry, I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I feel fine, but I am having some kind of reaction to something. Okay. So yeah, like Sundays, I like to go out and do nature hikes. I really, the last couple times I've been over at the Rose Garden because they have some nice roses, but now the weather's changing. Oh, you have morels, Ona? Lucky you. Okay, so so I think that's all we have for the announcements. Is just Sunday hikes if people want to get together. Chemtrails, dry cough. You know what I think it is, actually? It's me wearing old dirty mask. I'll be quite honest with you. Like I've been putting on that old pink mask. You know, they smell after a while. Moisture, you start inhaling moisture. And I did some hikes the last couple days, and it increased after that. So I think that's what's going on. All right, so thank you, everybody. I want to get started. We've got 766 people here, so I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Happy Brunch, Tarot Card Blitz. We get together for people who are new here every Sunday, and we just shoot the breeze, and we have our brunches. I usually have a green smoothie. Like I said, I was talking to my sister. We were talking, and I didn't get a chance to make my breakfast. But be sure and tell me what you are having. I love the rose garden, yeah. I think you could find some really great mushrooms in Mount Tabor. I'm getting a good feeling about Mount Tabor. The two mushrooms that you can harvest in abundance in this area that are edible is the oyster, which is saprolytic. It grows on wood chips. Some of the morels sometimes are out. I'm going to try and see if I can find some morels. And the bolitas are good, but they're very wormy. Oh, thank you, Anna. Very nice. Greek salad. That's a lovely brunch. Anybody having mimosas? Oh, goat's. Oh, lucky you, Julie. I love goat's cheese. I tried going from meat eater to vegan 6, 7, 8 times, and I never was able to do it, and I always felt terrible. So I said, okay, I'll try and be a vegetarian for, say, a year or so, and then I'll slowly eliminate. And that's been working much better. Yeah, we're going to look at that, Linda. So we're going to do a simple prayer. We always start off our Sundays with a communal prayer, meditation. If you're not into praying, it's just like a meditation that helps get us in the mood. And then we do a collective reading for everybody so that we know what our week is going to be like. So that's this will. I have some leftover pizza too, Debbie. So this will be relevant to you at the time that you receive this reading, and it's based on the collective energy that we share with the group. So does that sound good? Let's do this. And give special gratitude to Michelle Taylor, who is our moderator extraordinaire. Ona as well is here in the house. I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journey to make the best decisions for ourselves, for our families, for the planet, for the people we love, and to help those we have strife with. And together we say, Amen. Amen. Oh, chanterelles. That's. Chanterelles I was looking for. There was another one that parasol mushrooms, but there's a poisonous parasol that can mimic it. So as you can see, I've been reading about mushrooms. Up at night till 2 a.m. on my Kindle reading about mushrooms. Chanterelle soup. Ooh, I used to date a guy that owned a chanterelle mushroom farm. He was a bit cranky. I think I stayed for the benefits. All right, so the first thing that they're talking about, the energy of where we're at, I feel that this group has kind of reclaimed some energy that had gone dormant for a really, really long time because of COVID, because a lot of people had to go into isolation. Some people went into isolation by themselves. And so consequently, there was a feeling like we all went into this samadhi state, right? We all went into a kind of meditative state where we were thinking about what we wanted to do when we grew up. You can see here, the base of the matter is the Page of Wands. I really feel that for a lot of people, thank you, Super Queen. Thank you, Pace Yourself. I think for a lot of people, they're moving on in a new direction. Page of Wands is our karma card. The 11th house is the karma we share. Page of Wands is the card of the pioneer who goes off to seek his fortune. If you look at the position, he's positioned west. If you're looking for a direction, notes on direction. He heads west to seek his fortune. There's gold in them there hills. Those are the kinds of images that are being used with the Page of Wands, which we share. So this is a time when people want to go hunting, they want to go pioneering, they want to go out and explore the world around them and to build a new life for themselves. So I feel like everybody kind of became young again. You know, there's this feeling like people are like, wow, dang, you look good in Portland. I am feeling young and sexy. I'm getting back out there, and so are you. Page of Wands is about new beginnings, starting our lives again. We're not old, we're better. Also, again, here we can see the Knight of Wands coming in, headed in a southwesterly direction, also west. Again, those are images of starting a new life, possibly traveling. Many of us may be traveling. But it's this idea of the pioneer or the new beginning for all of us. Okay. And Mila has decided that she wants to join us. Hello, Mila. Thank you, Christopher, as well. I just wanted to make sure that I had thanked everybody. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Yes, we're working. Where we are at right now, looks like everybody in the group, me as well, is focusing a lot on our health, making sure we have, I think what happened also for a lot of people is that they began to spend this time working on improving their health, whether it was their emotional health or their physical health. A lot of us are not working full-time anymore. A lot of people are working from home, but there's a lot of extra time, and it's really up to us what kind of habits. If you've got an extra 5 hours, your future health will be determined about what you do with that 5 hours. You could sit on the couch eating potato chips and watching Netflix. I've been there, done that, guys. Right? We've all done that. Or we can use that to do an account and a reckoning about things that we can do to improve our health so that the time is spent engaged in healthy activities. And that seems to be the new road or the new direction that many of us are headed. New direction, the pioneer goes off on an adventure, a new beginning, health improves. Spiritually also, things look really good. You can see a nice Hierophant moving in. So people really took the time to meditate and do a lot of good inward work at the time because of this pandemic. What we sit in, this is a very romantic and creative time for the group as well. Queen of Cups is the archetype of the dreamer. She dreams, she looks at her lamp, she rubs the lamp, and she dreams about the world that she's trying to create. So what I like about this as the third house for us is it suggests that we are a group of people that still has dreams and goals for our lives. And what sits above us is the Knight of Cups. Again, this is a very romantic energy. It also can be a young suitor. It could be a time when we are drawing romance to us, dreams, creative, beautiful, romantic time, a healthy time. Possibly attracting a suitor if you're interested. Judgment looks sound. Be very careful about not positioning yourself. Don't project the past onto the future regarding your relationships. This is something that comes up a lot, particularly if you came out of a divorce or a bad breakup, or if you're having tension with a friend or even an existing partner. The fact that Three of Swords comes in the near future regarding a past placement of judgment over love. Sometimes this can happen when we think, well, I'm destined to be unhappy in love because I have ABC in the past. It's when we pigeonhole ourselves or we become the negative voice in our own head. Thank you, Artist Sculptor 1776. That was very kind of you. So you can see here, we're looking at romantic imagery, but we're also looking at past judgments leading to heartache. So the concern I have about this for the group is that it could suggest that we tell ourselves negative things because of past mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes to cut ourselves a little bit of slack, and don't assume anything about your future career, your future romance, your future health, etc., based on whoever you were in the past or the judgments you made in the past, because you're not that person anymore. You've changed, you've grown up. So let's not project heartache into the future based on mistakes from the past. It's a really powerful lesson to learn. You know, it's this idea, it's a Buddhist idea, which is to be in the now rather than living in the past. Living in the past of what could have been and should have been becomes a source of unhappiness. I do this a lot. Our own imagination, wow, I really blew it. That meeting, I could have done better at that meeting. I blew it. Living in the past when you think you've made a mistake and then you can't let it go to such an extent that it has a negative impact on future choices and future relationships. That's the one. New beginnings, 4 wands moving in. See, this is like spring. Even though it's the winter, our cards are spring. I feel like we're antsy. I feel like we want to get out and enjoy the spring, like we want to get out and go, even though it's September. You can see again here with the card chart. New beginnings, romantic energy, new starts, creative. She rubs her lamp, right? What is around her? New, everybody else is feeling the same way. Ace of Wands, new beginnings, new business adventures, new romances, returning back to the loves of the past. If you liked needlework, you might go back to needlework. If you liked sewing, if you were interested in being a ballerina, that's what I wanted to be when I was younger, you might start taking those ballet classes online that they're advertising. But the point is that the Six of Cups can be old loves returning. It can also be if you broke up with someone, say 20 years ago, and now you wonder if you guys can be friends. That can be an issue too. If you have unfinished business with an ex or even an ex-friendship, this is a desire to smooth out some kind of differences or a disagreement with a lover, possibly a suitor from the past. What I like about the Seven of Cups as the outcome for this group is that it denotes multiple choices and options. In plain words, once you let the past go and preconceived ideas about who you are and I were in the past, it opens us up to all kinds of possibilities, for the future in terms of who we are, what we can be. See, concern about pain. Fear about pain that has not been experienced yet. We're going to be okay financially also. You can see a nice, I call this the green economy card because it's a renewable source. The tree grows, you harvest. And then for people who are wanting romance in their lives, it looks like that's definitely going to be something that opens up between now all the way up into December of 2020. Energetically, I think people are going to start finding creative ways to connect. Interesting. That was an interesting collective reading, wasn't it? I think it's interesting. Thank you, Kamala. Very nice. Okay, so now we're going to do the blitzes. People had asked if I could go in. Oh, Joe, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you got a lot out of your readings. You don't know how to flirt? Join interpals.net. You can have an international pen pal. I'm like very close friends with my pen pal from Egypt. I was helping him learn English. He was like 19, 20 years old. We became great friends. I thought, oh, he'll never move to America. Sure, why not? I'll help you learn English. He moved to San Francisco, got his master's, just became a US citizen. Very cool. All right, so we're gonna look at Donald Trump's health. How you doing, Mr. Trump? You feeling okay? He's taking care of legal issues that have to do with duties or responsibilities. This looks to me like he's having to share duty, or there's some kind of soft transfer of power, but it's not as serious as if he was incapacitated. But there is something about a transfer of power here. You can see lovers, which would indicate more than one, and then the star card. So some kind of contingency plan or something has been set up because of this odd situation. Thank you, Maxine. It's very sweet. You can see here he had a crash. This could be a vitals crash. We know with conditions like COVID, you can have a crash in your oxygen stats really quickly. A person could be sitting there talking to you fine. They've got an oxygen stat of 95. Everything is fine, and then boom, it crashes to 89, 88. And the patient, it happens so rapidly, the patient may not even know it's happening. So evidently he's had two crashes where his oxygen stat dipped below healthy levels, and they had to give out oxygen. So he's not stable. The good news is they have a really good medical situation set up at the White House. But I personally, with a tower in his first house, I would not move this patient. Do I think he had COVID? Yes, absolutely. It was inevitable, in fact, because this is a highly contagious virus. And he was warned multiple times that he was taking too many risks. And unfortunately, he didn't listen. And he was exposed to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who were also exposed to hundreds and hundreds of people because of the nature of their jobs. And so, to be honest with you, it's really just mathematics. Inevitably, you will find yourself in a super spreader event if you keep doing that. And he's got a tower here as a crash over his health. So they have to make it. This patient is not stable. That would be, look, this is entertainment. We say this is entertainment. Obviously, in my real life, I wouldn't diagnose like this. But if you're asking me as an entertainer and as a reader, a decision has to be made about a crash regarding the patient. And something about another person coming in. With a lover's card leads me to suspect that I would not have him going back to work tomorrow. Absolutely not. Not with cards like that. Not a decision has to be made. He's not well. You can see 9 of Swords in the 4th house. He's stressing out, trouble sleeping, uncomfortable. And what he's been stopped. He can't move. He's sitting. This is his new campaign, his new administration, the next 4 years. It's what he sits in and what he thinks about, but look at it. He's not going anywhere. He's stuck in the bed. He's got a crash, and a recent crash has caused the physicians, it looks like, to have to make a decision that he may not be happy with. It's COVID. This is the COVID card. It's wind gone awry. Wind qi in Chinese medicine. When you have a condition affecting the lungs, it's the wind energy. When the wind is disrupted, so COVID is a wind condition, right? It's impacted due to a weakness of your immune system, which is the wei qi, which is the protective wind. And when when your defense system has been invaded or broken down by an aggressive wind energy, that's the Knight of Swords. So for me personally as a reader, I've chosen Knight of Swords to be the card that I use to describe disruptive wind, like a condition. Unfortunately, I would say based on this reading, at least as far as the near future is concerned, he's had a setback. And, you know, other readers can pipe in, you know, but I don't know how else I would interpret this. It would be a mistake to move him at this time. He's really worried about his financial situation. Look at that. He's also worried that his wife is going to leave him. Melania sees him as like a whiny person, you know, like Five of Pentacles is the guy dragging you down. It's the exile poverty card. This is also a poverty card. So he's very worried about his finances. It's over. The presidency is probably over. Gap stop. Right? Knight of Pentacles doesn't go anywhere. It's the Clydesdale. Boom. End of the road. Let's do a clarification for everybody. Well, dang. Some other energy comes in and takes over. There's also a feminine energy coming in and taking over. I think his wife could leave him. I don't see a stable relationship there. What's interesting is that they're not going to stop dumping. They're not going to stop dumping stuff about this president. He's going to continue to receive the Lincoln Project, the other campaigns that are trying to prevent this guy from being elected. They're going to continue to dump. I see Melania becoming increasingly separated from this president. It's kind of like a peeling away. Leaving the broken man, a strong female, MySpace. This is kind of a person trying to create their own independence. I think he will survive this, but I don't think that his campaign will. I can't see him continuing on with this campaign, with the final outcome being the Knight of Pentacles. I want to hear from the other readers. Michelle wants to pipe in, or anybody who's, she's a shaman. We got to give extra respect to Michelle Taylor because she pulled the root. She had a special. She pulled a special. She has a special card chart. I don't know. I don't think it's. I don't see him passing away, but I don't see much for the continuation. Yeah, they both really have it. To be honest with you, I'm surprised they. Oh, Michelle. Yeah. I agree, Michelle, but passing away, I didn't see physical death. The next question we had, I think, is pretty important. They wanted to know whether or not they were going to be able, people had asked about whether or not the Senate was going to be able to go ahead with the confirmation. If it were me, if that were me, I'd resign. He can't continue on. He's sick. The doctors have to make a decision. He's got another crash today. You saw the tower, and then a judgment from the medical community, and then gap stop. He's not going anywhere. The best he can hope for is being on. This is a miracle man in good health. Maybe he could be back on the road in 2 weeks. He has to have 2 negative tests after being, he has to be at least 10 days and then 2 negative tests over a 24-hour period. And that's assuming he's got the energy, because this condition weakens you so much. There's not a lot you can do when you have it. I think he might resign, Marianne, if he's given an opportunity, if he's given a good deal. Thank you, Marie. Very kind of you. I do like coffee. All right, so now we're going to look at the confirmation. Oh, we're doing great for time. I thought we were talking too much. It was like, oh, it's only 30 minutes. We've actually gotten a lot done. Okay. Barrett's confirmation. I'm just going to look. Does anybody know what her sign is? I'm curious. Yeah, Michelle got a, we did a karma reading for Michelle, and she got the shamanic path cards. Sometimes we choose the path, sometimes the path chooses us, right, Michelle? Come on, Michelle. Time to get cracking. I think they may have to hold this nomination just like they did with Garland. That's the great irony here. But it's a delay. She has talked, when I go into this energy, she has talked to Mitch McConnell over the phone. Remember, we went into the energy of Mitch McConnell. I think it was the last time we did a Blitz, and he said, I've completely lost control of the Senate. Do you remember that? The reason he lost control is because 2 people have said no, they're not going to vote for her, and 3 have COVID. So how you're going to have a vote when you've got senators in the hospital? It's very strange. January 28th. Oh, very nice. All right. So, excuse me. Lover's card. So negotiating, right? Working. I think she's working with Mitch McConnell, but you can see the karma card is a stress card. The 8 of Wands is when you feel like you're receiving multiple attacks. If she's talking to Mitch McConnell's telling her, we're going to make this happen. Be patient. Hold tight. Yeah. She already got the offer. You can see the contract here, the sacred contract here with a lover, but there's a strife issue. What crosses the situation, politics or family dynamics, or she's inherited a situation. What is above her, complete confusion about where this is going. What sits below her, the crash. This is not going well for Miss Judge Barrett. This is not... She's also feels, she feels to some extent like she's being, excuse me, she's being blamed, and she feels kind of defensive about it. Like people are actually blaming her for this, and so she's feeling a little confused and defensive, I would think. Feeling trapped by the current situation, the Tower, confused. This looks like Mitch McConnell talking to her, trying to assure her. She might still get in. She might get in, but it might be delayed. I just want to I had a feeling she's a Aquarius. I just want to access personal records on her because there's definitely confusion, delay. I think Mitch McConnell is talking to her about it. I think that they're assuring her it's going to happen, but she has till January. She has, I think, what? January 20th is the changing of the guards. So I just want to see how she's doing and what her future holds, just objectively. You know, I get the impression this is a pretty professional person. Walking away, and then there's Trump's card. Let's go in. Thank you, Michelle JM. That was very, very sweet of you. Very kind. Okay. There's the offer again, the bouquet, right? The Six of Cups, walking away. The karmic relationship she has with Donald Trump. There's the offer. I like her energy. I don't like her politics. She's actually got a really beautiful energy. There's the offer. There's the job. Conflict. She's written some interesting stuff. She could withdraw. There's a possibility with these types of cards that because of the controversy and because there's a possibility she's considering withdrawing her name with the Five of Swords. It could work out that she withdraws her name and then asks to have it be reinstated later afterwards with these types of cards. Now is not the time, but perhaps in the future she could wind up on the bench just because she has a beautiful future. I mean, she's got an Emperor's card, but with a Five of Swords attached to Donald Trump's card, walking away from a battle she can't win in association with, or the karma of Trump, leads me to think that there's either going to be a delay. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. From her perspective, it'll happen the right way. They should revisit this in 6 months. She's got a great future regardless. She's a nice person. I just don't agree with her about something. This is not a bad person. This is somebody who you would go to her house for Thanksgiving and you'd have a nice time. She's a nice person. She's a thoughtful person. She's a very calm presence. She meditates a lot. She prays a lot. She has faith. This is not a bad person. She's just not on the same page as us regarding certain things. Okay. So the next question had to do with the stimulus check. Are we going to be getting the stimulus check? And if so, yes, exactly, Lynn. Her belief systems. But boy, if you came over to her house, you'd have a great time. Very nice person. She'd feed you, ask you about yourself in a very quiet, calm way. She would talk about her faith. All right, so the stimulus check, is it coming and when's it coming? Because a lot of people really are worried about this. Stimulus check. Yes, I'll do. That was one of the things that came up was would I check the swing states? Yes, I'll do that next. I'm going to make a note because that was one of the. Somebody said, could you look at Brexit again? Why? What did I ever do to you? Please don't make me look at Brexit. What a disaster. Mitch McConnell is trying to negotiate with the stimulus check. We'll pass the stimulus check if you give me this confirmation. A lot of the delays have to do with GOP maneuvering to get what they want. Look at this. The ethos, the conflict, closed. Here again, conflict. Mitch McConnell and the president, right? Tied in knots, walking away. They can't work anything out because they've put themselves in an ideological situation. It's ideological, but there's also a feeling from Mitch McConnell that he will be able to get, all he wants is his courts. He just wants the courts. He just wants the judges. He could theoretically hold everything up until he gets what he wants. He also feels like he's got points to lose in the Senate race, so he's feeling pretty cocky and pretty confident. The only concern I have about that Mitch McConnell has is losing control of the Senate. He controls the money. He controls everything. The ethos regarding this issue, though, has to do with somebody blocking it, probably Mitch McConnell and the GOP, and it has to do with a conflict of interest. We might not see anything until the end of October, if we see anything, just because of all these delays. It's delays. It's delays that are created in order, because it's a wedge issue. They're trying to, the GOP is trying to negotiate their interest, their political interest, and blaming the Democrats for not signing certain things. But it's an ethos issue. It's an ethics issue. Thank you, Tamara Rose. It's very, very kind of you. So I'm sorry to say I'm seeing delays on the release of the check, and the Republicans want something in exchange for this. And what they want is the courts. They want control. They want power. In plain words, you may have more porridge if you give us what we want. That's basically what the cards look like. All right, the swing states and the swing Senate votes. People have said a lot about that, asking about Lindsey Graham first. So we're going to go in. We're going to do really fast blitzes now on all the campaigns. Lindsey Graham. No, I want to check William Barr too. See, I get going and then y'all know what's going to happen. I get going. Yeah, because Mitch wants his courts. Give me my courts. Give me my courts. It's all about courts. Lindsay, Miss Lindsay. You're gonna have to resign, Mr. President. Miss Lindsay. Her time in the Senate may be coming to an end. Three of Swords is the base of the matter. So she's not, sorry, he's not, sorry, but when I go into a remote, it presents as a feminine energy. Not trying to disrespect him. the base of the matter regarding Lindsey Graham is the Three of Swords. So I wouldn't say this is a happy person. That Three of Swords is the base, and then there's a karmic wheel. He's facing the real possibility that he will not get reelected. His way of handling things right now is to not handle them. There's this feeling with Lindsey Graham that he's completely shut down. He's not, for whatever reason, he is, he's in a really rigid mindset. Hi, Mila, I love you too. I know, I love you. Why don't you go get your water somewhere else? No, you may not have my water. He's moving on. This is looking like the shock of the campaign season. He could lose. There's a part of him that kind of wants to retire and spend the next couple of years focusing on his health. There's a part of him that kind of would welcome leaving. Give the work to somebody else. It's in the 8th house. I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like maybe he should move on. Lovers as the outcome. I don't see victory. He doesn't have any aces here. It's in the grave. There's no aces. Look at this. It concerns his health. Walking away from the work. Entering into a creative, the Queen of Cups is like a loving energy, heartbreak coming to an end in the grave. This is somebody who I would think wants more of a private life, and that's politics. That's what I always hear from him when I go into the energy. He could lose this and he could move on. Also, I have a feeling like he's on the verge of being outed. You can see a double card over the love. Concerns about codependence or sexual, what he perceives of as unhealthy, toxic, or addictive relationships that are romantic in nature. Yeah. It's not looking good for Lindsey Graham. I think the last poll showed that he was actually losing. So the cards are not good for Lindsey Graham. Wow. Can you believe that? All right, I'm just going to check now on Bill Barr, even though I have a real hard time reading on him. And I just want to check if he got the virus, if he's okay. Yeah, funny. Okay, William Barr. Okay, Michelle. I always get the impression that he's just wrapping things up. He tries not to be, he's saying he tries not to pay attention to things. Like he's trying to avoid the noise. Biden's probably going to be the next president. I can tell you why. Take a look here. This is him welcoming in a new president, a water sign male gets the offer. This is him getting things in order. He's assuming a new administration is coming in and it's water sign male. He sees himself as doing his job, right? I'm trying to do my job. That's what I always get with him. Also, confidence card. He feels in his mind that what he does is rational and sane. Getting things ready for the new administration. This is how he sees himself. That he sees himself as cooperating and working with the new administration. There's some unhappiness here. Let me find that his result is unhappy regarding the work. There's some unhappiness regarding the work. He's very stubborn and refuses. This is not someone who compromises in any way, shape, or form. I don't see physical health challenge. If he has it, it's not, I don't see him having COVID or anything like that. This looks like somebody who's wrapping things up, doing his business, getting ready to close the books, welcoming in a new president, and then assumes that he will probably be leaving. Yeah. But not right now. Oh, in Utah. Interesting. All right, so the next question had to do with the swing states and whether or not Texas would turn blue. We'll start with Texas because... Hi, Linda. Thank you. I wish you lived in my neck of the woods. We could go mushroom hunting. Chemtrails are out. All right, we're going to look at Texas first. Remember I said there was going to be some shenanigans in Texas? We can look at that. Texas. Texas is a mess. You can see the tower right over, and we could see a major flip in Texas. If it doesn't happen now, it's going to happen very, very soon. When you ask about the political situation, a tower, so there's a major upset. I'm worried also about if a tower comes in, it could also be an environmental impact of some type. Some event could be taking place. 9 of Cups is a wish card coming in for the group. They're tied up in a knot because of the old government, the old politics, and the old economy. You know, feeling defensive regarding judges or the old establishment. I think they're having trouble selling their products. I think that that the economy is changing. There's a major event. I'm worried about the weather still in Texas. It's explosions, problems with wind, lightning. But there's a wish card coming in too. There's a little loss here. So we could see mixed results in Texas. We could see mixed results, and we could see, even if President Trump takes Texas, there's going to be enough of a shift that it has the GOP seriously concerned. Because one of the things I keep seeing over and over and over again when I look at the future and I go into the future for the United States, it's completely different energy. It's this beautiful, it's almost like a beautiful fall energy where it's a new, you know, people are getting excited about the new beginning. And, you know, it's like star energy moving in. It's just a nice, it feels like people are hopeful and excited about the new changes to the economy that are happening. That's the best way to describe it. People are excited about green business. People are excited about the idea of a renewable source that helps the planet actually being profitable. So people are getting the memo, and people are very into it, you know. But if you're part of the old economy like Texas, it's going to be quite disruptive because they're so entrenched in oil and steer cattle that it's going to be it's working against them. Okay, so the next question had to do with Eric Prince and whether or not excuse me, not Eric Prince. Eric Trump was facing serious legal problems. What was going to happen with his Wednesday interview? Deposition, right? He has to sit for a deposition. Eric Trump is next. Got my list. This is fun. Are people still eating? How many people still having brunch? And is anybody having a mimosa with their brunch? I don't drink, but mimosas look tasty. They already have the documents. This goes back to the Cohen when we. This goes back to the remote viewing where they, in the raid, they got all those documents from Michael Cohen about Eric and yeah, probably Letitia. Ooh, strawberry wine. I've never tried that. Sounds rather interesting. Mango. Someone's eating sunflower seeds. Yummy. All right. I think that they're going to be in trouble financially. You can see Six of Pentacles moving in, but there's a Knight of Wands. That must be his card. A conflict. Nobody can get their story straight. So what happened? The problem with this, as far as Eric is concerned, the problem with this is that he's going in, but nobody can agree on the story. And the other problem is when you go into this energy, they already have the documents. So you can see Five of Wands, they couldn't agree on a story, how to present themselves. So he's kind of going in there being the scapegoat. He's the one that's going in there, and very likely it's going to blow up because they didn't properly prepare him. He's in trouble. He's in serious financial trouble. They're looking at the money. Also, Six of Pentacles is a benefactor's card, which means that they're going to offer him a deal. But he's got a conflict because he went in unprepared, and a Six of Pentacles. He's in very serious trouble. He'd better cooperate. Even Trump's children can't be loyal to him anymore. Look at that. Authority right above him. He's not around people that are charmed by his father. This is a really serious situation. You can see a person in judgment, like the judge, or this is probably Letitia James, the courts, or this is like the judge. This is somebody who's not emotional. This is objectively looking at the data. This is someone who's being all lovey and emotional and is concerned about a financial situation and a conflict that they went into where maybe the family didn't agree about how he should have represented himself or the family. Yeah, see, it's all about money. This is a microscope, the camera, watching an issue of poverty, of coin, conflict, an offer possibly. I think he's going to sell his dad. I think he's going to sell his dad out and the company out because Four of Swords is coming in over an Emperor. He's going. I think his lawyer is going to tell him to cooperate. I think he will agree to cooperate, but the problem is that once he starts agreeing to cooperate, there's a limit to what he's willing to cooperate with, and he finds himself in a situation where it gets in so deep he can't get out. That's how I would interpret this, because it's like he's being advised by his lawyer to cooperate. That's the feeling I get when I go into the remote, but then an outcome of a Four of Cups, I feel like this, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when Michael Cohen said, oh, I'll cooperate with that, but I'm not going to cooperate with the state investigation. And then once he started cooperating, he realized that he was not in charge and he couldn't make up the rules. And then once he was in prison, he was, you know, going and talking to the state and working on this investigation, doing all kinds of things, because once you agree, that's it. Your life doesn't belong to you. And that's probably what's going to happen with Eric is he winds up pulled into this thing. And then once he's in, he's trying to back out. He should, if he cooperates, he could really get a lot of people in trouble. Okay, so we'll do a couple more and then we'll call it a day. All right, so the next we're going to look at Florida because we were doing the swing states. What's going on with the political situation in Florida? They're starting to vote next week also. What a swamp. Look at the base cards. This place is really kind of seedy energy. You go into it and it's like, yeah. Reptiles like swamps, right? Reptiles love swamps. There's some people who love Florida swamps. Base of the matter is the devil, unhealthy relationships, codependence, walking away from a codependent relationship. Death, I would say he's lost Florida. Just because the base card it talks about a codependent or unhealthy relationship, and then the karma is to walk away from an unhealthy relationship, and then the first house is death. So if you're in Florida, you know, go about your business, right? But oh, the thief attempts to flee. See, a thief attempts to steal the election. They will attempt to steal the election in Florida. Look at that. There is an attempt to steal an election. Naughty, naughty. Well, they've done it before. Yeah, I'm concerned about Florida. You can see here, this is the Flim Flam Man card, juggling money back and forth, death, thief card. I assume this is Ron DeSantis, the governor's card. There appears to be some conflict that's going to happen regarding attempts to throw out certain votes. That's going to lead to it's going to go badly. We're going to see drama and problems in Florida and attempts to throw out a ton of votes. I don't think it's going to work, though. You can see they're headed towards a tower in the next couple of weeks. But the fact that the karma card is an 8 of Cups, this is an unpleasant battle. But I don't think that Trump's going to be able to win Florida. Unless they succeed at cheating, but boy, tower coming in, devil. I wouldn't want to be in the middle of all of that. All right. We're going to close. We have time for one more question since we started late. The last question. Thank you, Michelle. The future of New York City was a question. That was one we didn't get to. Attacks on the U.S. The future of Hope Hicks. The future of the coral reefs. The future of the airlines, Puerto Rico. Those are some of the questions people had. The health of Christie. Hope Hicks. Looks like Christie went to the hospital. All right, we're going to do Christie next. The fires are frustrating since the people on this channel have literally collectively bought tens of thousands of trees. So we're kind of frustrated by the fires. It's like, well, there goes the forest we built. I'm building a forest. All right, how is Christie doing? Thank you, Bob. Very kind of you. Thank you. Very kind, Mercedes. I think his health is worse than the president's. Due to bad habits. He really is not doing well. Look at these cards. It was probably a super spreader event or some kind of an event. They're right about that. That got everybody exposed. But you can see his karma card, 5 of Pentacles, not good. And then what's crossing him here, 8 of Swords. Oh, he can't. This is somebody, a tightness in the chest, possibly. Someone who's probably having trouble breathing. I use this card as a tightening around the chest. Trouble at night sleeping, migraine, headache, stress. He's worried about not, these are workaholics, a lot of these people. This is somebody who's worried about his finances. Look at this, bad habits. I think he could still be okay, but boy, touch and go. He's seriously ill. He's the guy who could. My computer went on for some reason. He's the guy who's in serious health challenge. So, yeah. This infection can get into the vascular. It can cause a vasculitis. It can get into the nervous system, causing inflammation in the nervous system. What concerns me about the Christie cards is this can also get into the kidneys, causing organ failure. If your organs can't get oxygen, they die. So the organs we're concerned about with COVID are not just the lungs, but also the kidneys and the heart. Can also, because it's a vasculitis, can also, and the lack of oxygen can cause organ failure. Yeah, kidney, the liver. I'm concerned when I go into the energy on Christie that he could be intubated, because that eight of Swords there. But when you meditate on the energy, I'm feeling I like trouble breathing. So yeah, I'm worried about him. All right, love and light to everybody. Thanks for hanging with me for our Sunday brunch. And let us all be about our business, right? Take care of your house, vote, Take care of your health. And you will see. Hi, Keisha. Thanks, everyone. Satnam to you as well. And I'll see you next time. Happy mushroom picking to you as well. Let's hope I find some good stuff.